the artifact in the containment field of Lunar Analysis Station 3 was not merely an object. It was an insult to engineering, to physics, to reason itself. A 3-meter sphere of pitted, scarred alloy, simple iron and nickel, bearing the brutal marks of unshielded atmospheric reentry and millennia of micrometeoroid impacts. It looked like something a child of the void might have forged in desperation. Yet its heart hummed with impossible physics. Dr. Kenna Rowan stood before it, her usual sharp sarcasm silenced, her entire focus a laser on the impossible paradox suspended before her. The shell was primitive, crude, almost mockingly so. Inside that crude iron shell, however, hidden beneath layers of ordinary metal, lay an energy signature that bent space-time itself. The outer casing screamed, "Caveman." The inner core whispered, "God." Run the composition again. Leviticus full spectroscopic array. Her command sliced through the low hum of the observation deck, her eyes never leaving the derelict sphere's hologram. At his console, Lev's fingers danced a nervous tattoo. "Doctor, it's the 12th time. It's iron, nickel, impurities consistent with common chondritic meteorites. It's a shaped rock." But inside, his voice dropped to a reverent hush. The core signature is reading a localized curvature of space-time. It shouldn't be stable. It shouldn't exist. "But it does," Kenna murmured, more to the artifact than to anyone else. "And they sent it here in a tin can." Humanity had built glittering cities on Mars, tamed the radiation belts of Jupiter, and woven matter from raw energy with cohesion fields. Yet the dream of faster-than-light travel remained a tantalizing theory, their one great, unyielding frontier. This crude ball had crossed that frontier. It had coasted into the solar system on chemical rockets, settled into orbit around the moon, and waited, a cosmic postman with a letter in its fist. Dr. Javier Mendoza, head of propulsion analysis, appeared at her shoulder, his expression a mix of awe and professional vexation. The team from the belt is still screaming at each other. Some say it's a contained quantum singularity. Others swear it's an exotic matter reactor. The betting pool is up to 300 credits. "Put me down for the outside contender," Kenna said, her focus unbroken. "It's something we've overlooked. Something simple. We've been too clever by half for 300 years. Her expertise lay in patterns, xenolinguistics, a field that had been purely academic, a joke, until this pitted sphere arrived. Now, she was the Confederacy's chief translator for a universe that had just started speaking. "Anything from the data core?" Javier asked. "A repeating packet. A simple, 'We are here' signal on a broad EM spectrum. The encryption on the main database is elegant, almost polite. It took me 17 minutes to crack the shell." Javier's eyebrows shot up. "And you haven't opened it?" Secretary General Reed's direct order. "Observe only. Avoid surprises." Her impression of Reed's calm, deliberate cadence was flawless. He'd form a subcommittee to watch paint dry. He wants to spend a month analyzing hull oxidation. I want to know who sent it. Our objectives have diverged. He's being prudent, Kenna. He's being a bureaucrat, she corrected, a flash of iron in her gray eyes. Prudence is for when the stakes are unknown. The stakes are now known. That thing proves we have neighbors. Every second we spend debating protocol is a second we stand naked. As if summoned by her defiance, a soft, authoritative chime echoed. A crimson icon pulsed on the main screen. Incoming transmission. Secretary General Reed. Kenna let out a short, breathless laugh. Right on cue. She nodded, put him through. Jovan Reed's face filled the screen, lined with the weight of 1,000 slow, careful decisions. The blue marble of Earth hung behind him. Dr. Rowan. Report. The artifact is inert, sir. My official, for the record assessment, is that it was built by sentient beetles with a deep and abiding love of minimalist threat display aesthetics. Reed's expression remained a placid lake. And your off-the-record assessment? It's a messenger, an ancient one. The shell is a statement of age. The core is a statement of power. The contradiction is the message. A long pause stretched over the light seconds. The Council has authorized decryption of the primary data core. Proceed, Doctor. Reed's gaze intensified, drilling into hers from across the void. Do so with the utmost care. The screen went dark. Kenna turned to her team, a fierce, bright energy crackling around her. You heard the man. Time to open the mail. Her fingers flew. Her decryption program engaged in a subtle, elegant dialogue with the probe's ancient software, speaking its own mathematical language back to it. The process the Council feared would take weeks concluded in 89 seconds. A soft, definitive ping echoed in the deck. A new symbol glowed on the main viewer, a stark, geometric, three-pointed star. Beneath it, alien script, a cascade of sharp angles and flowing curves, translated itself seamlessly into Terran standard text. Primary communication package accessed. Lev read aloud, his voice a hushed tremor. A profound silence swallowed the observation deck. The air grew thick, charged. This was the incision point in history. The image that resolved was of a being of articulated gunmetal gray segments, moving with fluid, alien grace. Ornate robes of deep crimson flowed around its form. Behind it stretched a hall of impossible architecture, where angles seemed to swallow themselves. A synthesized voice, rendered in flat, literal syntax, filled the room. Beings native to the star system designated SOL-3. By the eternal decree of His Imperial Majesty, Hadrian Lux IV, Master of the Thousand Stars, Lord of the Crimson Fleet. This serves as notification of your formal incorporation into the Siamec Imperium. Your technological development, while rudimentary, shows potential for productive service. You will surrender your fleets, disarm your defenses, and prepare your populace for integration. Compliance ensures continued existence. Defiance will result in atmospheric cleansing. You have one planetary orbital cycle. Long may the Emperor reign. The image vanished, leaving only the mocking three-pointed star. For 10 full seconds, the only sound was the omnipresent hum of the station's veins. Then, a sound broke the silence. A choked, disbelieving gasp. It was Kenna, laughing. It started as a strangled hiccup behind her hand, then erupted. A full, rich, roaring cascade of laughter that shook her frame. It was a sound of pure, unadulterated cognitive whiplash. It was infectious. Lev let out a nervous giggle. Javier snorted. Soon, the deck housing humanity's greatest scientific minds echoed with the sound of uproarious, incredulous laughter at the galaxy's supreme arrogance. Kenna wiped tears from her eyes, struggling for breath. Atmospheric cleansing. It's a form letter. They threatened us with a form letter sent in a rusted lunchbox. They are serious, Kenna, Javier said, though a grin fought his lips. No, she corrected, her mirth solidifying into something hard and sharp, a diamond of focused intent. This is a profound clerical error. They've mistaken the address. Her gaze snapped from the arrogant symbol to the raw, cascading data stream beneath it. The ultimatum was just noise. The real signal, the terabytes of engine telemetry, navigational logs, system metadata, was the prize. As alert sirens began their soft warble and Reed's face doubtless tightened into a grim mask on Earth, Kenna Rohan leaned into her console, a hunter sighting her prey. The Siamec Imperium had delivered a key to a door they didn't know was locked. She would use it to find their throne room. 5 days later, confined to an austere holding cell on Luna for gross insubordination, Kenna watched the secure feed. On it, Jovan Reed stood on the bridge of the Diplomat's Courtesy, a sleek silver needleless ship facing down 12 brutish Siamec warships. Reed's voice was calm, offering partnership, speaking of misunderstood intentions. The Siamec commander's translated voice blustered with threats of singularity cannons and annihilation. In her cell, Kenna's private screen showed a different truth. Her ghost program, a silent, patient mouse she'd released into the Imperium's vast, arrogant, and poorly guarded public data networks, had finally found the cheese. Not a weapon schematic, a logistics report, a diversion of a luxury vintage, Juvian pleasure nectar, to a private moon, cross-reference with a discreet, unpublished flight plan of a vessel named the Gilded Rest. She had it, a real-time geospatial coordinate, the personal, secluded pleasure moon of Emperor Hadrian Lux IV. On the main feed, The Siamak commander powered up his weapon systems, a targeting reticle painting Reed's ship. Kenna's fingers rested on a concealed interface. She had patched into a forgotten backdoor in the probe's own diplomatic comm system, a legacy bug, a lazy piece of bureaucratic code that routed priority cargo, alerts directly to the sector's highest authority. The recipient field was populated with a string of characters, the Emperor's personal, secure identifier. She typed a single line of text. No threats, no demands, just the coordinates. His coordinates. A quiet, devastating correction to their earlier correspondence. She glanced at the screen where Reed was staking everything on diplomacy and reason. She looked at the Siamak warships.